Well, hello there. I am HW, and thanks for watching Tone Junkie TV. Today, Custom 24 SE Paul Reed Smith. Go. Okay, once upon a time, a young HW's second or third guitar was a Santana SE model. So my love for the PRS SEs goes way back. Truly, these are, without a doubt, some of the best budget guitars on the market. The consistency that Paul Reed Smith is bringing these things out with is just incredible. There's some killer specs. Obviously, they're based on the very popular, more expensive American models. They weren't always that way, and the new ones even feature the Paul Reed Smith sort of script logo there. So we get the man's signature. We get the man's signature. Now, I know what you're thinking, HW. How could this Korean guitar that looks like a Paul Reed Smith sound any good? Well, it does sound pretty good. So it's simple, kind of Les Paul style switching, but one volume, one tone. Let's see how it sounds on the neck. You're going to find with inexpensive guitars, the neck pickups quickly get woofy, and it requires some adjustment to an amplifier. Any amp, is not really going to be able to handle it. That's kind of a mark of a really good high quality neck pickup. If it has strong bass, tight bass, but not that woofiness, I don't know what part of making a pickup causes that sort of woofy bass or non-woofy bass, but you definitely notice that whenever you're playing a Korean instrument or something in the kind of a budget category. This is no different. To be honest, it's a pretty woofy bass. I mean, listen to this. And these are pretty high output sounding pickups. They're definitely not low. You can kind of hear a little bit of breakup in this JRT profile, which in a lot of my other videos you will see with varying guitars, it stays fairly clean. So that's the neck. Acceptable. I mean, for a guitar in this price range, I mean, what do we all do? We buy these things and then we put high quality pickups in them, and if it's got a great trem and stays in tune already without it, then you've got a great guitar. It feels similar to the more expensive Paul Reed Smiths, just in the make and the finish. Obviously, the big difference is you do get this beautiful top, and at this price point, I think this is a great looking guitar. The big difference is similar to the S2s, and these SEs, they slope down at the side. And what you would get in an American-made Paul Reed Smith, that's not the S2. The S2 is American-made, but you would get they would actually hand make this sort of divot here, and you would get sort of a flat kind of edge on the outside, and then it would slowly sort of ramp up or scoop up into the top carve of the guitar. You don't really get that here, but nonetheless, killer guitar, and I think a great looking guitar for the money. Absolutely. Let's hear that middle. cool sound. I mean, that's a sound that sounds to me like a PRS in my head. What I think of as a PRS sound, it's that modern humbucker sound. It's bright, and I don't mean modern like a modern metal kind of way, or like a high output EMG kind of thing. Not like active modern, but like just a modern, beautiful sort of, it's not really totally going for that PAF tone, although there's a little bit of that there. It's very bright, very airy on the top end, even in a Korean model like this. I've heard it said before, and I agree with this fully. If you're a single coil guy who wants to be able to pull out a humbucker guitar and get that humbucker flavor in a lot of the lead stuff or the sort of overdriven, distorted tones, but you're not really liking how dark a traditional PAF comes out, this type of voiced pickup, kind of what you hear from Paul Reed Smith at different levels, depending on the model and what they're kind of going for. You definitely get a guitar that I think you can unplug a single coil guitar, plug in a humbucker guitar, like a Paul Reed Smith like this, and you end up with a sound that sounds like humbuckers, but you haven't lost all your high end. All right, let's hear the bridge. Man, I mean, hey, there's country guys using these, and you can kind of hear why, Beautiful. That's a good sound. All right, I've got an OCD on. Let's check out the neck. Hey, that's a good sound. It is a little woofy, but you throw something a little higher quality in there. I think you got something. Let's hear the middle. Man, that is a sound that sometimes you don't find in guitars twice as expensive as this. And it's clear. You have all the kind of grindiness on the top end, but there's enough low end in there. That's a middle position sound that's usable, definitely. This tremolo is actually probably the best you can find for this money by far. There's a lot of Fender tremolos that wish they worked half as well as this for probably $1,000. Yeah, it's better than any Mexicaster trem that I've ever played. Let's hear the bridge. Whoops. It just sings. It sings pretty nicely. It's got a voice. I mean, you can really hear it. I'll tell you, I play this amplifier on this profile here and this OCD a lot. And I got to tell you, this is probably one of the most unique tones I've gotten with it. It actually sounds a lot different. And what a great value for the money that you can add a guitar to your collection for like $500. And it's going to have a tremolo that's awesome. It's going to have these great PRS looks. And you're going to have the man signature right there. I mean, that's really incredible. Paul Reed Smith, nicely done. Hey, if you want to add something cheap to your collection, grab this. If you're a beginner, grab one of these. You can get them used for $450 all day long. I think they're incredible. Check them out. These things get the Tone Junkie seal of approval for talking about a guitar in this price range. So, hey, we're going to be looking at some Paul Reed Smith guitars this week, and this is the first one, the SE. I got one or two more SEs coming up with some S2s, a really cool PRS forgotten model that very few people are playing and even know about, but they're going for killer prices on the used market. I've been playing one for years. I'm going to show you that. Anyway, I've already said too much. HW, Paul Reed Smith, SE Custom 24. This thing is cool. Later.